The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're going to conduct a sea trial of the latest flybridge cruiser from Sea Ray, the 460 Fly. She's built with the characteristics of the Sundancer series, but with the elevated vantage point of a flying bridge. Let's start with a look at her operational features, beginning with the upper helm. The flybridge helm is mounted to port. A fiberglass console has twin 12-inch displays to either side of the 4-inch vessel view display. To the left are rocker switches, the VHF, and then the center-mounted wheel on a tilt base. The remote control for the spotlight is next, then the joystick with integrated buttons for the bow thruster. Bow and stern are offered. Then we have the digital engine controls, the Rockford Fosgate stereo, and trim tab controls. And with the helm to port, we can see right down the companionway to the stern, along with the entire port side, of course. Taking a look at the main deck helm, this time it's to starboard, so we have a helm to each side now. There are soft tones to both the panel and the console, and a compass in the middle. The main panel has a pair of 12-inch displays to both sides of a pair of air conditioning vents, and the 4-inch vessel view display showing the engine gauges. Of course, the main displays also have the ability to show the engine instrumentation. Below is a stitched leather panel with a storage compartment to the side. Further below are rocker switches that are lighted when activated, the VHF, a remote control for the spotlight. The wheel is again mounted to a tilt base. Additional storage is below. At a sub-panel to the right, we have the engine start-stops, trim tab controls to operate them both manually and automatically. Behind are the Cummins digital engine controls, and finally the Zeus joystick that combines the V-drive with the bow thruster to give maneuverability around the dock. Opening windows to both sides not only allow for ventilation, but a good view of the starboard side from the helm. The two-person helm seat has ultra-leather upholstery, custom embroidery, firm back padding, individual bolsters, and flip-down armrests. Below the helm, there's a pull-out visibility platform that makes running the boat better for shorter captains. All the way to the bow, the rail height is 31 inches. There's a vertically mounted windlass with a chain stopper just ahead, all leading to a stainless steel anchor roller recessed into the tow rail. A remote-controlled spotlight is just alongside, and behind that are the two foot controls to operate the windlass. The engine room is accessed from a hatch in the cockpit deck. Inside, we have a pair of 550 horsepower Cummins QSB 6.7 engines. At the swim platform to starboard, there's an opening panel that houses the shore cord on an electric reel, and the control switch is just above. To the side is the TV cable connection, then a freshwater connection, and the city water inlet at the bottom, all under a hatch that is back-chelled, held open by a gas assist strut, and closed with a turn and lock latch. All the ship's electrical is controlled by a cleverly concealed panel behind a seat back to the starboard side of the salon. 120/240 to the left panel, 12/24 volt to the right. So let's get underway and see how she performs. We tested on a windy day, so not ideal conditions, but it already shows how well she handles in close quarters. The Sea Ray 460 Fly has a length overall of 46 feet 8 inches, a beam of 14 feet 2 inches, and a draft of 55 inches. With an empty weight of 43,892 pounds, 75% fuel, and 3 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 46,745 pounds. With a pair of Cummins 550 horsepower QSB 6.7s turning 24 by 24 4-bladed Acme propellers through V-drive transmissions with a 2.063-to-1 reduction ratio, we reached a top speed of 27 knots. Best economic cruise came in at 19 knots, where the 38.8 gallon per hour fuel burn translated into 0.5 nautical miles per gallon and a range of 164.9 nautical miles. We also found that the economy remained at 0.5 nautical miles per gallon at any setting over planing speed, so don't be shy about setting the speed for guest comfort relative to the current conditions. And speaking of current conditions, it's important to note that we tested on a windy day with 2 to 3 foot chop, which understandably had an adverse effect on our top speed. That said, our numbers did differ only slightly from Sea Ray's internal testing that showed a top speed of 28.1 knots. Additionally, Sea Ray tells us that with these same engines driving Zeus pods, they've seen a 3 to 4 mile per hour improvement at wide open throttle and cruise speeds. With props and rudder handling, she responds well to the helm, and she cuts waves nicely while keeping spray under control. We noticed no pounding even at full throttle, but backed off slightly, she became a bit more comfortable, mostly by knocking down the strong breeze a bit. Bringing her back to the dock again showed how well she handles, with the joystick combining the mains with the bow thruster. Even with the crosswind, we were able to bring her sideways nice and gently to the dock. But the real treat is how well we can see the whole side from the open side window. This is really where the precision comes from, and the joystick is responsive enough where anyone can make it look easy. It's hard not to be impressed with the 460 Fly. She's got the sporty handling we've come to expect with the Sea Ray line of cruising yachts, with the added benefit of having an elevated vantage point for better cruising visibility. All while adding another entertainment venue, but that's another video. Be sure to look for it. For now, that's our sea trial of the 460 Fly from Sea Ray. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.